What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're on a fantastic day today. And today we have the May 2024 Tulsa International Airport update for you all. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video. And without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. We have a super exciting update with some massive aircraft changes, some really awesome frequency changes, and so much to dive into in today's airport update. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video. And without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. To change it up here, we're going to start over here with the Alpha gates, beginning right here with Alpha 4 in this Delta Airlines Boeing 717-200. This aircraft is currently making a non-stop service today coming in from Atlanta, the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport that is. This service, of course, is 5 times daily, once here in May for the CRJ900 and 4 717s. So looking great for this particular aircraft, and Delta definitely going full steam ahead here for the summer with their 717 offering on that flight. So we love to see that, the consistency, and definitely not taking this for granted by any means, as when this is retired, that's going to be it. So glad to have this here, and this is quite a unique part of Tulsa International Airport. So of course we love to see this. Next at Alpha 6, we have this Delta Connection Embraer ERJ-175 on the behalf of SkyWest Airlines. This aircraft is currently going to be making its nonstop service today out to Salt Lake City, Utah, which is operated twice a day, of course. This is awesome to see. No major changes. However, Delta did just announce that they'll be transitioning some CRJ-700s into 550s. I think that would be a really cool aircraft to come here for maximum efficiency of the seats, but they may put those on some EAS flights, so I'm not exactly sure what the plan is for those yet, but it is cool to see that regardless. Anyway, this does remain currently as a 2-daily 175, which is a nice congruent schedule for it, and certainly a no harm, no foul on that particular offering. So of course we love to see that here for Delta as they continue to go strong here at Tulsa International Airport. Our next gate here at Alpha 10 is going to house this American Eagle ERJ-170. This is currently going to be operating in from Chicago O'Hare today, which is currently 3 daily flights that just got bumped up to 3 and will remain that way guaranteed through August. So this is exactly what you want to see for American, as they're going to have a fierce competition there for United on that flight. So 6 daily over to O'Hare plus 2 additional flights to Midway. So it's going to be a busy summer over to Chicago, which is awesome. This may have been twice daily last summer. I'm not sure if it was or wasn't, but it's still great to see it nevertheless at 2 daily or 3 daily rather. So that's awesome, and we love to see O'Hare currently thriving right there on its service. So that's awesome to see. Also, there's additional news in the Tulsa International Airport news series, so definitely check out that video if you haven't already from April 2024, and May's will be coming out soon too. Next up, here at the remote stand, this is Alpha 10, we have this American Airlines Airbus A321. This aircraft arrived in earlier from Charlotte Dulles International Airport, which is awesome to see that it's back to the 321 this month, and also with a nice arrival time of 9 p.m., so that's great to see. Pretty standard here, but it's awesome to see the 321 still making its rounds, and of course we got 2 of them in here this month, so we love to see that. We'll only have this one for Charlotte through the whole summer, but later down the road, another A321 will be coming back. But anyway, 2 daily, the other flight's 900, so we love to see that. Next, we have this American Airlines Airbus A321 in the stamped cancel delivery. This aircraft is currently coming in from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport on one of, I believe it's 9 daily flights right now, a handful of RJs, and then the evening push is definitely exhibiting that main line with just various aircraft. So this is awesome to see. So this is the late night arrival this month, which is kind of surprising at 12 a.m. So love to see this. Got to do this flight the other day, and it was wonderful. So glad to get to see this here at Tulsa International Airport, and all as well here on the stamped cancer 321. What a great purpose in that livery, and glad to get the feature here at Tulsa International Airport. And here's the 10 p.m. overnight arrival. Sorry, macro mode really does not want to cooperate today on this American Airlines 737-800. So glad to see this aircraft continuing to arrive in Brim. That's one of the highest performing routes out of the airport on that particular frequency. So that's great to see, and that aircraft will leave at 6 a.m. And here at Alpha 5, we have this American Eagle CRJ-700. This aircraft is operating for SkyWest Airlines, coming in from Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. Great to see Phoenix continuing to thrive. This has been a very successful service, double daily, and that will be returning now in August. Not going to be September, it will be August now. So definitely really awesome to see Phoenix grinding. This will be the final month until August, that's 2 daily, but just June and July, which it's hot out there anyway. So very logistical sense here for American, and they certainly have found a really good market here with their Sky Harbor operations. So great to see this, one of their most successful routes to date. This has been awesome to see. And here's a massive change right here. American Airlines is now using gate Alpha 3. Of course, as you all know, this is where Allegiant typically parks. However, now American is using it as they continue to add additional flights on the overnight hours. They need more gates, and it just makes sense since this gate remains vacant anyway, they might as well use it. So it'll be interesting to see if Delta does end up using this when their LaGuardia service starts, as that's an overnight flight as well. But for the moment, we do have this American Eagle ERJ-175 here for the first time, which is awesome. They have not used this gate since I believe the terminal was renovated in 2015. I believe prior to that they did use it very consistently, but this gate has since been a common use gate and the Allegiant gate since 2018. But now we have American parking here, which is a really smart choice and just makes sense. So loving all this American. Anyways, this aircraft's coming in from the LaGuardia today on its overnight service, and now it's going to be making a non-stop flight today out to Miami. So looking very good for this particular aircraft, as the LaGuardia service has done really well. Of course, so much so Delta's going to add it. And we have the Miami service, which is going daily next month, which I'm so excited about. That's going to be absolutely awesome and quite a testament to what's going on here. So this is all looking quite fantastic, and really glad to see them using this gate. They even have a carry-on sizer down on that side by that gate. So overall, this is really cool. I've got to see it a couple times as well, and this is just fantastic to see. So I'll be eager to see if they park any mainline at some point. That would be super cool. But nevertheless, the 175 here makes plenty of sense, and all this American Airlines traffic is looking great. And we'll add another overnight flight to the mix next month, so you're not going to want to miss what's going on then. But nevertheless, looking very good for all these particular aircraft. Okay, next up we have some taxiing aircraft we'll take a look at before heading over to Terminal B. We'll begin right here with this Learjet 75. This aircraft's taxiing out for a non-stop service today over to Santa Ana after coming in earlier from, let's go with Syracuse, New York. Awesome, get the Kalitta Airlines Boeing 737-400 fixed up. If you didn't know, I lost the nose tire for it. I actually just pulled it off my American 737-300 that I have by JC Wings. It's a little tall still, but nevertheless it does work, but it does flop off pretty easily, you'll see. Actually didn't flop off immediately there, but you can see that it's pretty easy for it to come off. So, but I do have a interchangeable gear now, so great to get that going. This aircraft's coming in from Cincinnati, of course. Really happy to catch this during some beautiful morning lighting the other day. That was awesome, so really cool to see that. So this is going to be an Alpine Air Beechcraft 1900. Super cool to have this. This has usually been Sub Air, but Alpine Air has begun flying this route to Wichita. So that's exactly what we have here. I'm not exactly sure how long this will last or if it's a permanent change, but super cool to get some new liveries in there. Their turquoise color looks really cool. So certainly very glad to see that. And overall, a really cool change here for Tulsa International Airport. So this is looking absolutely awesome right there. And then currently taxiing over for departure, we have this American Eagle ERJ-175. This aircraft's taxiing out with a nonstop service day out to Washington National Airport for Republic today, and now we'll be operating the SkyWest service over to Los Angeles as well. So glad to see those two routes going really well. Both are once daily, so definitely a really strong showing of both really making their rounds. They even have a big advertisement in the terminal now promoting the Reagan service, so that's awesome. So overall, all this is looking really good. Definitely glad to see this, and let's go ahead and bounce on over to Terminal B. Alrighty everybody, welcome over here to Terminal B, and it's time for a little bit of a story because there is a bunch going on with this right here. As you can see, we have 6 United aircraft on the ground, 3 of which are mainline. This is not no diversions, no emergencies, none of that. This is legit. So let me go ahead and explain all this so hopefully it makes a little bit more sense. Okay, here we go. So first and foremost, United for the month of May and ongoing for a very long time, for the immediate future, definitely through the summer and beyond it appears, is going to overnight 6 aircraft at Tulsa International Airport, which is just crazy to think about. And I have seen it in real life. I have a bad picture. I'll try to insert it now if I remember. But this is super cool. To my knowledge, this is the first time ever United has overnighted 6 aircraft. They've done 5 quite a few times, but never 6. So this is just so cool to see. And also the first time ever, I believe we've had at least a few days worth of 3 daily mainline services. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain all of it briefly, and then we'll dive into the particular details. So let's go over what hasn't changed. United does have a 175 coming in at night from Chicago O'Hare. That's going to be featured right here. United does have a regional jet coming in from Houston George Bush. Last month we saw the second daily flight return. That will be this one right here. And United also has a mainline flight coming in from Denver at 8:30, and that's this aircraft right here. So for the first part of May, what we found is that the 12 a.m. Denver arrival was a regional jet that usually parked right here at B10, and that the other Houston flight was a regional jet, so that also parked right here. But we do have some massive changes for the second half of May, and some of these are temporary, others are permanent. So that's going to be the Houston mainline, which is featured right here, a second daily Denver mainline, which is featured here, and a second daily flight to Chicago, which is featured over there at B2. So we just have a bunch going on. I think it'll make a little bit more sense if I dive into each individual aircraft. I want to give a brief synopsis how we went from having, I think at one point this winter we only had 4 aircraft, and now we have 6. So let's not waste any further time and go ahead and get into all these details. And this is how the parking arrangement is. I have seen in real life, so that's awesome. But nevertheless, it's some sort of version like this, and I'll explain what they've been doing with the trends as of late. Here at B2, we have this United Express CRJ-200 on the behalf of SkyWest Airlines. This aircraft is currently coming in from Chicago O'Hare today on its overnight service. So what's going on here is United has added their 3rd daily flight for the summer, which is great, but surprisingly, it's overnighting. So it arrives very similar to what I was talking about in the previous update with the Houston flight arriving at 6:30. This flight arrives at 6:15 and then doesn't leave till the next day at 7, which is really surprising. And then the 10 p.m. flight, which is this one right here, this one leaves at 11 a.m. the next morning. I'm really surprised they're choosing to do this. I really thought that they would have sent the aircraft back as they normally have in the evening, but I guess United just doesn't think that there's enough connecting opportunity to justify it, or it has to do with cruise cycles or whatever the case is. Disregarding the aircraft being forfeited for 15 hours a day, both these ones I should mention right here, it is a really good time. 6:30 arrival is really great, and then the departure at 11 is also a really desirable time. So in that aspect, it's good, and the loads have definitely transpired with that. So this will be different aircraft throughout the summer. So for right now, it was 2 175s. Now it will be a CRJ-200 and 175. I chose the feature 200 to give us a little bit of variety and also make the note that United is operating this on an afternoon flight to Denver right now, but it'll be back to a CRJ-700 or 175 soon enough. But anyway, so 2 overnight Chicago flights, which is awesome. This is the other one, again, arriving at 10 and now leaves at 11, so this is awesome. I took this flight the other day. It was awesome, and it leaves out at B4, so that's why we have it featured here. So what typically happens is the CRJ will arrive into some sort of gate. It appears right now that it's arriving into B4, which is what I'm kind of representing here, and then they'll slide it over to B2. And in fact, I actually got to see this live action because my flight was at 7:30. The next Chicago flight on the 175, or is the Houston one, it was one of those two. We got so many flights I can't even remember now. That flight was right here at B2, and as soon as we pushed back, as soon as we were looping around to start our engines, they literally towed it right over the 4, which is just great. So United doesn't own this gate either. It's a common use gate, but they're definitely making the most of it. So looking very good for our Chicago flights. And again, this is a really big analysis. I'll go a little bit more in detail on the Tulsa news. I know it's not really crazy relevant to passengers and whatnot, but it is awesome to see all these additional aircraft. So speaking of additional aircraft, 3 mainline aircraft are here right now, which is crazy. So for the first half of the month, it was just that 737-800 to Denver. So that's exactly what we have represented right here. Looking very good here at B8, where they parked the mainline for the last several months. However, we do have 2 additional mainline aircraft coming, one of which will be for the rest of the summer. So here at gate B6, we have the United Airlines Boeing 737-900ER. Super glad to see this aircraft back for the first time in a little while. This aircraft is heading out to Houston George Bush Intercontinental International Airport. So excited to see the Houston mainline back after a long last. And it looks like it will be remaining this way if they stick to the current schedule. They currently have this all the way through November, which is awesome, with a short intermission in July. So super excited about this. This is just great to see the Houston mainline back, and it's looking really great. So 737-900 here to start, and then later in the summer we'll have some additional differences. So overall, this is super great. I love the Houston mainline. Definitely want to fly it super soon, hopefully in a Houston spotting trip. But this is great to see, and definitely a testament to what's going on here, and super glad to get the mainline back. Some airports did not. So this is great, and I'm so excited to have the United mainline back here. And it still is 2 daily flights, and we'll take a look at the other Houston flight shortly. So that's looking awesome right there. Here's that 737-800 heading out to Denver on its 8:30 arrival, and it leaves at 9. So that's super exciting to see. That's how it's been the whole month. And this aircraft is an A319, goes back to the A319 when the second daily mainline comes back. And that's going to be this aircraft right here. So this is supposed to be a 737-900ER, but I wanted to include as much variety as possible, so that's why the A319 is here. So the A319 does come in at 8:30 and leaves at 9, but there'll be a 737-900, so you could put that one right there, how you want to designate it. That is going to be replacing the ERJ-175 and CRJ-700 12 a.m. arrival, and that one leaves at 6. So really cool to see the double daily Denver mainline. This is the first time they've done this in a very long time. I want to say this has probably been done once or twice, but there's never been 3 United mainlines overnighting to my knowledge, and the other mainline that United had to Houston, if they did have 2 daily at one point, was a what am I trying to call it here? was a afternoon flight. So this is just so great to see right here. I believe it was double daily at one point, but again, this is only for about 2 weeks or so, but still super cool. I don't know if it's Memorial Day or what exactly is making this change happen, but this is just so cool to represent regardless. So that's exactly what we have here with these aircraft. This is just so sweet to see right here. And overall, it is so exciting to see all this additional capacity, even if it's on a short basis. But again, the Houston mainline's back for pretty much good. Just we'll have a July intermission there. And then as of for our service to Denver, the one daily will be back next month, but still, it's just great to see. It'll be A319 all summer. So this is super cool to represent here. Kind of goofy, but really sweet to see United going with all this capacity here, and definitely shows that their commitment to Tulsa is going up. And hopefully more great news in the future, but the mainline's looking great. We have more flights to Chicago, which is awesome. Looks like that'll be now 3 daily year-round, which is definitely overdue. It should have been that a long time ago, so that's great. And hopefully that means maybe San Francisco soon, or the return of Dulles or equivalent. So looking forward to seeing more information, but just crazy now that we have 6 overnights, and this will be usual for the immediate future. Now, we don't have more information yet, but there is a chance that we'll have a 7th overnight for them in October of this year. So we'll currently wait for that. I want to see more information, but I'll talk about it briefly here at the end. But here's this Mesa Sear J-900. This also has been a 175 as well, but just want to get as much variety. So it has been a Mesa 900. So here it is, heading out to Houston George Bush. This is the really late night arrival. I think this one's at like 11 p.m. or so, 11:45, and then it heads out at like 9 a.m. or so. So this is great to see. Definitely love to see United absolutely rocking and loading here with the capacity, and there's no doubt that there's plenty of ways to get on United here at Tulsa International Airport. So super excited to see this, and excited to spot it all summer long, and all is well over here. So sorry that took 8 minutes, but that's really a substantial news piece with that second Chicago flight being an overnight now, and 6 overnights in general, 3 main lines for a few weeks. Super cool, and I'm excited to hopefully go catch this all. This is really sweet. Apologies if you were not tired of the news yet, because Southwest is a little bit quieter, but we still have some exciting developments here at B9, where we have the 737-700. This aircraft's going to be heading out to Denver today after arriving in from Austin Bertram, so definitely cool to see Southwest doing well here with that service. And then here at the remote stand, which I did see them pull one out of B9 the other day, so that was super fun. But here's this 737-700. This aircraft's currently coming in from Dallas Love Field, and now it's going to be heading out to Phoenix Sky Harbor. So looking very good for that operation. I can't remember if I think the 5th daily mainline came back last month, but if not, it's for sure back this month. So we overnight, let's see, I believe it's Houston, St. Louis, Dallas, Denver, and Las Vegas this month. So looking great for those aircraft. Speaking of those destinations, here's this 737 MAX 8. This aircraft's heading out to St. Louis after coming in from Las Vegas, so definitely super cool to see what's going on here with that operation. Very nice. And we have this 737-800, which is currently making its nonstop service today, coming in on the Saturday only service from Orlando, and now it's going to be heading out to Chicago Midway, so looking very good. Way down the road, but this has been removed, I think, temporarily for February and March of 2025. Hopefully that changes, but just wanted to note that when we get there, of course. But luckily it's down the road. We'll have 2 daily for the whole summer, so that's great. I do think it's just because of lighter demand. Oklahoma City severely affected if they do go forward with that plan, with losing 4 destinations for the daily basis. So definitely not good right there, but hopefully it's just a temporary suspension due to so much less demand during those months. And here we have Arizona 1 making its appearance here on the 737-700. This aircraft's currently coming in from the last remaining destination, and I believe that will be Houston Hobby, I believe. I think it's Houston Hobby, so looking very good for that particular aircraft. Glad to feature it here today. And Houston Hobby definitely making its rounds here with its double daily service, so we'd love to see that for Southwest right there. Our last 2 aircraft are extremely cool. Let me see if I can get slightly better light here on the first one, because this is a huge change. And that is this. This is not a diversion like it was in the March update. This is real, boys. This is a FedEx Express McDonnell MD-11 freighter. This aircraft's coming in from Memphis on a normal cargo flight, so 4 times a week, which is normal. Tuesday through Friday, they are flying this in from Memphis, and it's so cool. I don't know exactly what's going on here to induce this, but this is definitely one of the shortest MD-11 routes that I know of. And it has been leaving with some cargo on board, which is awesome to see. It comes in completely full, I'm sure. So what happened is FedEx changed their routing here. So they have this up gauge from the 767, and we are not getting a 757 from Florida Alliance anymore. That instead is coming in from Memphis and then goes on to Wichita, and then from Wichita goes back to Memphis. So instead of having the triangle route from Fort Worth Alliance, now we have the triangle from Wichita, which I think is really smart because obviously the trucks can get that here overnight from the Fort Alliance cargo traffic, and Memphis obviously a little bit farther. So I think this works out really well. It's so cool to see the MD-11 just rocking and loading here, and overall this is just absolutely awesome to see. So super glad to see this. This is super, super cool. Was super excited to catch it the other day. This is fantastic. I know I'm kind of reiterating myself, but I can't express how excited I am enough about the MD-11, and considering that this will get retired at some point in the future, it's so cool to see it, and I definitely hope to spot it more very, very soon. So overall, this is super cool and can't take this for granted for any moment. This is just absolutely fantastic. So we'd love to see that, and overall looking very good for that particular aircraft. And we do have the UPS Airbus A300, which is what they're operating in Louisville. Hopefully we'll get some differences in their operations soon, but pretty consistent there with just the daily A300 flight. FedEx also has a 757. Mine's currently broke, so I hope to get another one soon. But again, that comes in from Memphis and heads out to Wichita. So looking very good for all those operations. So safe to say that Tulsa International Airport is brimmed in all capacities, which is super exciting. So really great movements here. Did exceptionally well in March of this past year. Numbers were down 5% on the passenger numbers. It was like 254,000, but that was because spring break for Oklahoma and Arkansas was combined this year. It usually is not. So that, along with less aircraft capacity, which is just crazy to think about, and last year's March had the NCAA wrestling tournament, which brought probably a solid 5,000 people in here just for that. So we were only down like 8,000 people. Considering that, and then there was no aircraft, no changes for the airlines, so all the capacity was the same. So the fact that we were only down 8,000 people and had spring break combined into 1 week just really speaks as to how Tulsa International Airport did. Flights were completely sold out. It was crazy to see how good the numbers were, and I'm very hopeful that that will continue, and hopefully spring breaks will get spread out next time, or the airlines just go full steam ahead and are able to add additional flights, because obviously they missed the mark. But if they're doing it for Memorial Day or whatever's going on here, that's great. And then no other major changes I saw on the schedule for anybody else. However, American does have some very exciting developments next month. So does Southwest, so we'll be here to cover those. United will continue to rock and load, and then Delta's kind of getting left in the dust right now. United used to be kind of just, so-so, but I mean, this is really impressive work here. Now we're overnighting 6 planes. Southwest does 5. American, if all goes according to plan, will have 8 in August, which is just flipping ridiculous. And then Delta just has 2. But luckily they are getting up to 3, so they are picking up a little bit going forward. But it's safe to say Tulsa International Airport is doing great. And of course, I forget the grand finale. I apologize, everybody. That's what happens when gate changes happen. So let me bring this in here real quick. And I don't really have a great place to put it, but it's called improvising at its finest. So let me get a little bit better light on this. But nevertheless, here we go. I apologize that Allegiant kind of missed the mark there. But here we have this Allegiant Airbus A320. Of course, they still fly here. I just completely blinked. I was going to put it in during the clip transition, but of course I got distracted. So this aircraft is coming in from Destin Fort Walton Beach International Airport, which is back this month. Hooray. 3 weekly flights rather. All on A320s, Monday, Friday, Saturday, which is awesome. And now it's going to be heading out to St. Petersburg, which is awesome to see on its Thursday, Sunday. So looking really great there. So Orlando will be 3 times a week for June. So that's awesome. Monday, Friday, Saturday for that too. And then LA and Vegas also double daily as we know it. So that's awesome. The Allegiant schedule extension did come out, and unfortunately we did not see Tampa for October, November, December, January, or any of that. But we did get a few additional Los Angeles flights in December of 2024. So that's awesome. It'll be 3 weekly for a period, so that's great. Otherwise, all the changes, or all the Allegiant changes are the same. But sorry, I really need to acknowledge how awesome this Destin service is. Got to do it last summer. It was so much fun. And great to see that it's back. It's going to be a very successful service this summer. I think it's going to be great. And hopefully next summer, maybe we'll be up to 4 or 5 daily, or 4 or 5 weekly rather. We'll have to see. But we're definitely doing good, considering that Oklahoma City will not have any Allegiant for the months of August through February of 2024 and 5. So yeah, I'm very appreciative of Allegiant. They've done great, and safe to say that the airport's brimmed. I mean, this is what it looks like overnight. This is no joke. So every single stand at the B concourse is occupied. Flipping awesome. Sorry, I'm just super excited about it. And over here, that stand will be took next month. This one is currently being constructed because the FIS facility is starting its work right here. So there's like a big barricade here, so that's unusable. And then that one, I don't even know what you could really put at it. I guess a 700 probably, or the 175 probably fits there. I didn't even try this. I think a 175 would work there pretty easily, so we'll see if that's used in the future. But anyway, we are running out of overnight stands, so I'm glad that we have 6 over here to utilize, and there is some places over here where they could put them too. So anyway, that's enough rambling. This has been an extremely long update, but I just wanted to really express how excited I am about Tulsa International Airport, what's going on here, and what you can expect. Next month's huge, especially Florida. Think sunshine, because we're going to be seeing a bunch of that with a healthy amount of frequencies. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be absolutely awesome, and I'm so excited for it. And just MD-11s now, and Alpine Air is making their rounds. So safe to say that it's going to be a great summer here at Tulsa International Airport. All vibes kicking in the full gear. I'm so excited for it, and I hope each and every one of you are as well. But nevertheless, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.